Rocket Pat here. Hi guys, it's another hot rocking day in the jungle. And man, it is a beautiful day here in Houston, Texas. And we're gonna have the Blue Angels flying around today. They're right across the street from me doing the air show every year. We get that enjoyment. But we got a nice cool front coming in here from Canada. I guess it came down here and the big bad wolf done went and blown my damn house down, man. What the hell's going on? So I gotta fix this. Good thing is I already got a couple of these in stock I bought earlier in the year, and I'll be having to replace this, so you'll see that coming up, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, you'll just see it done. Probably not going to video it, it's a lot of work. Got to fix the walls, all this other stuff. But yeah, that's what's going on over here. You'll notice that the Cadillac is not in the shop. It is next door. Good news, bad news, or whatever. I kind of lost my help and everything, which... Good news, bad news, you know, he's got a better job, paying him better, and I lost a guarantee of $2,000 a month that I had to put out, and so it's money in my pocket away. I haven't really done anything with Leroy other than I hung his power steering pump on. I'm going to get the hoses done this week. They got the wrong belt. Need to change the distributor. The problem that keeps causing me on the side of the road is probably the pickup coil in the distributor. It's losing fire. I've changed everything else. It's the only thing left. I'm going to change the distributor. Haven't got around to it. Little white truck. I got the heater working. I bought a heater setup and I got that working and everything because I want to drive this truck on Christmas. So got the whole heater working, so it blows hot air into the truck now. So I'm really happy with that. Also, hung sway bar on him, and that made him drive a lot better. Still pretty bouncy. I'm contemplating taking the lowering springs back off this truck and putting the factory ride height springs back in the front at least. Maybe it'll make it ride better and everything. But anyway, let's go over here to the other shop because there's a jewel sitting over here that we need to go take a look at. And we're going to run across the pond here. And this is actually a pond. Some days it's a empty hole in the ground. So anyway, let's go over here and see what we got hanging out over here. Take a look at the Cadillac real quick. And then we'll take a look at... Yeah, I don't know what that thing is. It's just sitting here. Anyway, Cadillac. I need to do a full video on this car, but I'm not completely done with it. And when I say I'm not completely done with it, literally the only things I really need to do is I need to get over to my AC guy, Dale over at Dixie Air, and get him to make me some new hoses, so I can hook up the air conditioner. The compressor's down in there. You can see it right there. There are my hoses. See the compressor. And then, yeah, I think it came out pretty nice. Pretty clean installation. Kind of proud of it, to be honest with you. I'm really happy that it looks like it's, I mean, if you ask me, it looks like it belonged there from the factory. Things that to point out, the hose is off. Just so you know, that's the donor vehicle right there. Everything, the engine, the transmission, and everything like that came out of that. Okay? So, the upper radiator hose is off that truck, and it fits perfectly. The radiator is off the car. The fan shroud is off the car. I cut about 2 or 3 inches out of that zone right there to get it to fit. The fan is off the truck. And the power steering's off the truck. All this stuff's off the truck. This is off the truck. If y'all remember, there was a big thingy that was on here that stuck way the hell out here, that was stuck way up in the air, and everybody's wondering where it's going to fit under the hood. And I'm still not 100% sure if this is going to fit under the hood, because I have not tested this particular piece under the hood. But if it doesn't fit under the hood in its current condition, all I got to do is come over here to the water outlet, and I will cut this section off right here, leaving this nipple so I can push the hose further down, which will lower it down over here, and then I can just rotate this down a little bit. That's the plan at this point anyway. But I did a good job cutting that piece off there and welding it back on with my soldering iron and sanding it down, and that's all plastic. There's no fill on this at all. This is all the same plastic that I just melted into the thing. So I guess y'all want to hear it run. PCM found that this worked out really well. This computer system needs 2 hots, and there's another wire that hooks up to a switched power, and then the whole thing basically runs. This wire needs to get a fuse on it, a fuse holder. I have it, but I haven't wired it in yet, and this goes to the fuel pump. Okay, you know, standard installation. It came out really nice. Some of the upgrade things that I did as far as you know, to make it right, I mean, some of the things that I feel like it makes it right is what we did with the engine mounts. That makes it right, and what I having that mechanical fan on there versus aftermarket fans, like that. Those, you know, you see those 2 on the wall over there. You know, this makes it look like it's factory. Well, another thing I did is tied into our check engine light. So when we turn the key on, the service engine soon, and it has 2 on this particular car, so I just tied into both of them. You know, hey man, bink, come see me. We got our oil pressure light on, and then I have added in a set of, these are those Edis or Edius or, here, let's see if we can focus in on that. Come on, there you go. Those were pretty cheap. They were like $70 or something like that. I can't remember, off of at Summit, and they are electric. They're not mechanical. So there's no oil coming up into the car, and you don't have to. It's all electric like a car should be. So anyway, we got the gauges, and they're hooked up to the ashtray, and they slide forward and backwards with the ashtray. That way I didn't have to drill into anything, and there's a piece of metal and it holds it really well. But yeah. Car starts up and runs, check engine light goes away, oil pressure goes away. Waiting on exhaust system, and basically that's it. This car's almost ready to rock and roll. Came out really nice. The speedometer works as it's supposed to with that setup that I showed y'all. It does bounce a little bit. It's going to need some work going on with the cable and the head of itself, but it does work, which means that the cruise control should work from the factory system, due to the fact that it gets its signal from the back of the instrument cluster. So yeah, there you go, guys. I don't know what else to say to it. It's pretty much a done car, and it came out really nice, and I've already driven it. And when I get it a little further and we got the hood on it, and I get some exhaust on it, we'll go out for a ride, and I'll put it up on the lift, and we'll take a good look at it, and you know, just do an overview of the final episode of the '85 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham LS swap that I'm telling you really went well, and I look forward to the next one of these I can do. Now, does anybody want to talk about the elephant in the room? Y'all haven't hung around this long not to talk about the elephant in the room. This came in yesterday, This is a 1937 Buick. I don't know what the model is of it, but it's a straight 8, and it's a very nice car. I mean, it has its. It's a very nice car. Let's just leave it at that. It's got its flaws, but it's okay. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna give it a little love, shall we say? Help it out in some areas. And all. The biggest thing I'm here for is that, you know, this was top line like back in the day, man. You know, they were proud of it. I mean, look, they even went through the trouble to put silent oil cushioned Buick valve in head. I mean, this was, maybe a year before or what? It would have been a flathead. So I don't know what year the split would have been on this, but you know, this had to have been top of the line in the day. So it's here for me to get it to run right, and also to switch it over to 12 volts because the 6 volts not cutting it and everything. They have trouble getting it to start and all this other stuff. And this is an interesting car because this is and what I mean state of the art stuff, like the starter. The starter is a electric solenoid, okay? And see, I can make it go. See? Okay, so that was like state of the art in the day, right? Okay, because before that, that would have been a mechanical deal like my 47 Chevy truck. So see, the 47 Chevy truck still had a mechanical linkage going over to the starter, but here this 37 car Buick has a electric starter. Well, I mean, not electric starter, but a electric solenoid on a starter. But it's kind of odd because it's not that you push a button or anything to start the car. You push the accelerator to the floor, and this switch right here is what turns the starter on. So where used to you would have your foot over the starter button over here, they just push the accelerator to the floor, and hit the starter. It's in gear. I could just see that as a bad idea. But hey, that's the way it was, man. That's the way they did it, man. You know. But I already got it to purr off. It's got a coolant leak over here at the thermostat. I got to make a gasket. When I get that done, we'll be able to start running this thing a little bit and start getting it in a better situation. But 1937, well, not a Chevrolet, Buick. I mean, it's pretty much would be body-wise, I would think, close to what a Chevrolet would be, wouldn't it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, here's the culprit right here. Right freaking there. There's a culprit. I'm just saying, who would put a car together like this and not let the freaking door shut because you didn't do this right? I don't know if we can see that. Okay, look, the problem is, this is what needs to be done. These fat head screws need to come out. Number 2, this whole panel needs to come off, and we need to weld a piece down this line so that these screws can be moved over into this corner where they're not right up next to the edge of the freaking car, so you can get the door to freaking go up. Okay? And somebody got paid for this. So annoying when I tell somebody it's $30,000 for me to paint a car. That wouldn't happen. Just say, y'all keep rocking and rolling and rolling and rocking. We'll get back to this next time.